Welcome back to everyone to User Groups Live. My name is Leigh Romeo from the product team in Anaplan, and today we'll be chatting about the new user experience and mobile app. You heard previously from Paul, Joanne and Usman that we have some exclusives to User Groups Live today. But what we'll be doing is a little bit of a deeper dive into the new user experience and how that connects with the mobile application. So I'll just show you our standard disclaimer, as we will be showing you some items today that are coming soon on our roadmap and in development. So it is intended for our general product direction and information purposes only, and may not be the final product that you see. So let's dive into the components of the new UX. Now, you may have seen some of these the other day in User Groups Live out of York from Steve Prendergast and Dave Waller. The new user experience consists of the new user interface on the web and also the native mobile application. So what you're able to do then is create apps and pages in the new user experience that are connected to your Anaplan model, and then view those on the web or the native mobile application through the new user experience. Now, a question: how does the new UX and mobile connect? So we'll have a look at a simple diagram of the architecture, and the new user experience and the mobile app actually connect to your Anaplan model. So this shows that from the Anaplan model, where all of your data is in the data hub, the central location, then connects to the new user experience, the mobile app, and then also to Anaplan Classic. So what you can actually have is some of your organization using Anaplan Classic on classic dashboards, for instance, say the finance team. And then you can also build out your new apps and pages on the new user experience and then take advantage of the mobile app for, say, salespeople in the field, all coming back to that one single source of truth in Anaplan. Now, what we'll do today is we'll dive right into a demo. So we're going to tell you a little bit of a story. We're going to build out some pages. We're going to show you how they look on the mobile application. And then a little bit later on, we'll show you some great stuff, a User Groups Live exclusive of what's coming up soon. So the story I'm going to tell you today is about our user personas. So I'm an analyst, my name is Anthony, and my senior executive, Danielle, who has just said I need to duck out to the office on a quick business trip overnight, has asked me for some additional information. Now, I know that I can supply this to Danielle quickly and easily through creating a new UX application and page, which will absolutely suit her needs. Now, Danielle is off to the airport, she's left the office, and now it's up to me to create this page for her. So we'll quickly dive across into our connected planning application with the new user experience on the web. Now, what I can do is I can create a page in the new user experience where I could create a board or a worksheet. Now, I know that actually I've got something already in my application that almost suits what Danielle really needs. However, I know that I can simplify this to make this easier for her to view and consume on the road. So an easy way to do this is simply to just duplicate my page, where I can see here, I can put it into another category and also give it a name. So we duplicate our page. We can see there that my page is now ready. I can scroll down to my sales category, which I added it into, and then change the name. So we can call it whatever we like, which makes sense to Danielle, which is Employee Comp Analysis. So we can change the name of that one. And then what I'll do is I will go into this new page that I've created, and I will go into the builder experience so I can really trim down and get to that information that Danielle really needs. Now, in the view that you're seeing now is the board designer, where I can go in, I can change the layout of my board in, say, the column format. I can change, say, the widths into various sizes and columns. And then on my right-hand side, I actually have my palette where I can choose different types of cards where I can drag onto my board. But what I'll do for now is I'm just going to trim this down and make this really, really easy for Danielle to consume while she's on the road. So I'll get rid of a lot of the detail that I don't need. And then what I can do, as mentioned in this layout format, I will drag this around and then put it into a format that will be easy for her to understand. I have my chart card on my left-hand side here. I have some KPI cards. I have an image card of the employee, and then I have some more charts and then some grid data at the bottom. Now, I know that Danielle won't require this, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit at the bottom. And what I'll do is I will move this card to the left here. So that's looking pretty good. But what Danielle has actually asked me is that she needs some specific data on a grid. So I'm going to grab a grid card out of the palette, and I'm going to go in and configure the data on my card. Now, I know that she needed some payout data, and I can easily search and find that on an existing module that I have created inside my model. Now, this module actually has a lot of data, and it's really hard to see what we need to find here. So through a tool called View Designer, I can actually do this inside the new user experience without having to go back to Classic through my pivot and filter mode. I can go in, I can then just drill down into the line items that I want to see, and then quickly and easily just select, say, year to date, quarter to date. We'll also do the attainment as well as the bookings. And then when I apply that, I can actually see it really cleans up and simplifies right down to the data that I need. Now, this is looking really great. However, I think that Danielle probably won't want all of the time information that we can see here. So if I go back into my pivot and filter mode, and I can have a look at all of my time that I'm seeing there. Now, I could go through and manually check each one of my months, but with level-based show, I can simply uncheck that. I can see all of my months there, it's done automatically, select all of those, and then just hit apply. And what that's actually done is, it's shown me just those months, which is exactly the data that I need to display. So what I will do is, I will just then have a look here. I can have a look at my title, that looks great. I can then add in a tooltip if I like, by just giving some additional information or context about the particular card, which then shows up on the right-hand side as a tooltip. I can then add a link to this page. So I will come down and we will actually link this grid through to our sales comp transactions. I will then add that to my board, which is then instantly shown up on my board here. I will then just make sure that it's got enough room. That looks pretty good. We'll just take a look at my, we'll make that photo a bit bigger. That's great. Now I'm going to publish that board. So what I've done is I've duplicated an existing page. I have modified my data. I've added in some new data for Danielle, customized that through the View Designer, and then published that to my board. Now, I'm actually ready to send this to Danielle, who is out on the road. She's at the airport, probably waiting in the gate. I think she usually flies business class, so she's on the Wi-Fi there, but she doesn't actually carry her laptop around. She finds they're too big and heavy. So what she actually carries is her tablet and her mobile device. What I'm going to do is actually send this page to Danielle as I can quickly and easily through the user experience, and then have her view this information on the mobile app. So let's have a look and see what it actually looks like on the mobile application. Now, because my mobile application knows who I am, it knows when I'm on the web, it knows my recents, it knows my favorites, it knows my pages and all of my apps. Because I've just created this page, Employee Comp Analysis, it appears in my Recents tab. So then what I can do is I can go inside this page and then I can instantly view the page that I created on the web on the mobile device. So we can see here that we've got our image card, we've got our employee picture, we've got a chart, our KPIs, we've got that new grid that we created in View Designer along with a link there as well. So we can actually interact with these cards by tapping on a card. We can go full screen. What we can actually do is remove some of these series on these charts. We can get more information by tapping tooltips and seeing that data for that particular series. Then what I can actually do is I can change my dimensions. So Danielle, our senior executive, wants to know about sales figures. Now, this is for Tom Fraser, as you saw earlier, but actually what Danielle wants to know about is Ron Johnson. Now, Danielle knows that Ron is a great sales guy. So what we'll do is we'll come into our filter and then we'll look for Ron Johnson. Now, if we had a big list of employees and didn't actually know how to find Ron, what we could do is search for him. So we'll just type in Ron and then we'll go back into our app and then we'll show you how to do that filter so we can then change the filter that is on that particular page. So back into our analysis page and then down into our chart. We can then tap or search on Ron, apply that filter, and then instantly that data has changed on that full screen card that I'm viewing. Not only that, when I actually scroll back through my page, I can see there that my employee avatar has changed. So I know that I'm actually looking at Ron Johnson, which is really great. Now, Danielle, she's on her way to the airport. She's flown off to the customer. She's made some decisions. That's really great. What she can do then is drill down into, say, a worksheet. Now, earlier, what we did is we created this full screen grid and we added a link to that. And I can actually drill down and see further detail by linking through to that worksheet or that large grid that we had on the web, and I can view that on the mobile device. So you can see here as I'm scrolling through that lovely conditional formatting. And as I stop scrolling, you'll notice that the actual column header comes into display. Now that's really great because it gives us context no matter where we are in the worksheet. But what I can also do is I can tap on the header and I can just drag this out and then I can see the full information for that column header, which is really great, so I know exactly what's going on. But not only can we see this data in portrait, we can also go landscape mode and view that full screen. We can scroll around, we can see again our column headers, we can resize, and we can also get a preview of what's in those cells, which is really, really handy. So what we've shown you is how, as a page builder in the new UX, I can create pages as an analyst for Danielle. But wouldn't it be great if Danielle had the power herself to be able to create these pages, which would then take all the time off me and empower Danielle to do this herself? Well, we can now do that with a new feature called My Pages. So in our My Pages feature, we're enabling end users to create their own versions of pages for their own view. So as an end user, I can come into any board. I can then have a look at this board. I can save a personal copy, which then saves this as a My Page. I can see that by My Page 1, another little icon here that only you can see that page. I can access my Pages by going to this top left-hand menu and then going into the My Pages section, where I'll be able to see my page. That's really great. analysis. We'll just call that our overview. That's our own page. That's fantastic. Now, wouldn't it be really great if we could see that on the mobile as well? Well, we can. We just refresh our My Pages section. Our own personal page, which we can only view, has appeared on the mobile app, and then we can again roll in and then see that data on that particular page. So that's a really fantastic feature for our end users, and that's empowering our end users that don't have to be page builders or the traditional model builder. So that's really allowing for an easy and fast adoption of the user experience and Anaplan within your company. Now, what we'll do is we will take a breather of the demo and go back to our slides and have a bit of a chat about how the new UX web and the mobile connect together. So let's think about the board page that we created in the web and then how that actually looks and transfers to the mobile viewport. We've done a lot of work at Anaplan to try and fit all of this large data within inside this very small viewport. And as you can see here, the numbers actually correspond to those cards on the web that then transfer into that vertical listing on our mobile app, which we could then scroll through. So if you look at it on the web, it actually goes from top to bottom and left to right in a row format. And that's how it actually appears on the mobile device, where you can scroll vertically and then you can interact by going full screen with any of those cards and then having a look at the data inside those cards. So essentially the takeaway here is you build a page once and then it is made available instantly on the mobile app without having any further work to do. Now, I know it's been hyped up today, the latest and greatest with Anaplan Mobile. You might have heard about an exclusive with Anaplan Mobile today. Well, I am proud to announce an exclusive for User Groups Live, which we are announcing today. 2 brand new mobile features, which I am going to demo to you today. They will be available in the app stores next Monday, so you'll be able to download those from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Now, I know the live audience here is wondering also what these new features are, so I'll tell you now. Our first one is the Customer Tenant Switcher, now available for mobile. Now, I know all of our partners have been requesting this for a while. It's a highly requested feature from our customers as well. So now you can actually switch your customer tenant straight from the mobile, independent of the web. So that's a really fantastic feature to bring out. And then also the game changer for the mobile, making the mobile a really powerful tool with Anaplan, is data input. So we're starting our data input journey, and on Monday in the app stores, you'll be then allowed to update your worksheets with checkboxes, not only on a worksheet, but also on a board. So you'll be able to update that data live, straight into that one single source of truth from your mobile device. So let's get into a demo of the tenant switcher and checkboxes on the mobile application. So we were working through our demo for Danielle and Anthony earlier in our connected planning app. However, the demo I'm going to show you today for our coming soon, one of those is our customer switcher. So all I have to do is enter my menu in the right-hand side here, and then go down to my Switch Customer option, where I can see all of my available customers. All I then have to do is tap the customer that I would like to see, and then instantly my recents are updated, my favorites, my pages, and all of my apps are updated with all of my pages and apps underneath that particular customer. Now, as I mentioned, it's just as simple as going in and changing that customer under that menu, which then is independent of the web. Now, it just so happens that the checkboxes or data input demo is on this new customer that I have selected. It was that easy. So what I will then do in my recents is actually go into a worksheet and then show you how to update checkboxes on the worksheet. So what we have here is a worksheet. We can see a lovely conditional formatting, and we can see a couple of different checkboxes with active. So what we're actually having a look here is making these projects active in this particular view. Okay, so all I then need to do is just check these boxes, and then instantly they are updated on the mobile app. It's as easy as that. And then I can also do that in landscape mode, where I can see if I enable these, it's actually updating the rest of my worksheet as I'm doing this. So that is a fantastic feature that really empowers Anaplan on the go through the mobile application. Now, not only is the data input available on a worksheet, it's also available on a board. So we'll go now to a board page where we will have a grid similar to what we created before for Danielle in our dynamic filter grid. So we'll go full screen with this grid on a board, and then we're able to basically go through and do exactly the same as what we did before, updating these particular checkboxes. So I can update these, I can then close that, I can still see that's updating on the board, and that will then update any other data that is related to that particular module on that board. So that is the data input checkboxes, 2 exclusive product releases to the user groups live, which will be coming to you on Monday to the app stores in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. So please get on there and download that. Now let's move on and have a look at some of the features that are coming soon for Anaplan Mobile. So we've just released the waterfall chart for the new UX web, and I'm happy to announce that coming soon we will have waterfall charts available on the mobile, which you can see on your screen now on the right hand side. But one really exciting piece of our new waterfall chart that's coming out is the ability to pan and zoom. So you'll be able to do a 2-finger pan, and then you'll be able to do a pinch to zoom, which is really fantastic. You can have large charts and really get in to that data, which is great news. And the next one is data input. So following on from what you've seen today with checkboxes, we're going to follow that up with number input. So then you'll be able to update a checkbox and then also update some numbers on the fly with the mobile device. And lastly, we're going to announce that we're bringing out biometric login for non-SSO users. This is a highly requested feature, so you don't have to remember your username and password. You'll be able to log in with Touch ID or Face ID on Apple devices, and also Android fingerprint on Android devices. So now you won't have to remember your password, you can simply log in with your face. Okay, so how do I get enabled with Anaplan Mobile? Well, it is actually really simple. You just go straight to the app stores, the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and then download the Anaplan application. So just by searching Anaplan from both those app stores, and then log in to the Anaplan app with your Anaplan credentials to view your apps and pages. So that is both SSO or single sign-on login for our enterprise clients, and also non-SSO logins as well. And then lastly, create a page in the new UX in the web to view on your mobile. Now, as I mentioned earlier, not only do page builders have the ability to create pages, end users also have the ability to create pages which are then shown on the mobile device. So there's 3 steps there that makes this really easy. Download from the App Store, log in, and then have a look at those pages that you've created. Now, we've come to the end of our section for the new UX and mobile, and I believe we have some questions online. So we're just going to cut to these questions and we'll be back soon. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we've just had a look at the questions that have come in here for User Groups Live for the new UX and the mobile section and the mobile. And the first question is there any use of the mobile app that works for modelers rather than end users? Well, the answer to that is at the moment, the mobile app is targeted to our end user personas. So say end users with an ICM use case out in the field wanting to update sales figures on the fly. For now, we don't have any modeling experience in the mobile app as we are focused on the mobile viewport. But as we make more tablet customizations in future, we will consider some modeling experience in the app as well. Another question here is the Anaplan mobile available on all pricing tiers? That's a great one. I'm happy that's been asked, and I'm happy to announce that Anaplan Mobile is available on all pricing tiers. So that's mobile for everybody. All you need to do is download from the App Store and then log in with your credentials. And then a last one that's just come in. My phone is a bit older. Do I need to worry about system requirements? So Anaplan Mobile is available on iOS 11 or higher for Apple, and then Android operating system 9 and above. So generally, Anaplan Mobile will run on most of your Apple devices from an iPhone 5 all the way up to the new iPhone 11s. And then as there are so many thousands of Android phones from the operating system version 9 and upwards. And I think no, wait, we've got one more question that's just popped in. Is there a way to select default values on the mobile application for a page? That's an easy one. As the page builder or the end user, the default values on your page will actually come across to the mobile app as well. So when you open that page, those default values will be the ones in those selectors as well. And that looks like all of our questions today. I want to thank everyone for joining. I hope you learned something today, and please jump onto the app stores and download Anaplan today.